Okay, sweet. Andy, do you just want to say something just to make sure they can hear you?
Yeah, sure. Can everyone hear me now? I'm keeping close eye on the chat to see if people are
Awesome.
aware of my presence.
Okay,
All right, they are.
everyone.
Okay, let's do this again then.
Yes, so welcome everyone to the February Retro Games Racing race, which will be Chip and Dale this month. I have a very, very special guest with me. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Cobb. How are you doing today?
I am really good. So we were lucky and fortunate enough to get Andy, the current world record holder for Chip and Dale, to come commentate with us. Do you want to tell people a little bit about you, Andy?
Oh, you disappeared. What did you say? Last second.
Oh, do you want to give people a little intro on yourself?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, I'm Andy, and I have the world record for both main categories of this game. Been playing it on and off for a couple of years' time, so it's one of my favorite NES speedruns. Actually, it's the game itself doesn't need much of an introduction because it's very well-known Capcom Disney game. Probably the most popular one alongside with DuckTales. But straightforward platform game. You want to avoid as many enemies as possible, as fast as possible. Controls well, great graphics, music, and all that good stuff. So hopefully we will see a close race. We have a huge turnout here, 8 participants. It's gonna be impossible to keep track of all of them, but I will do my best. So I don't know. I guess most people already are aware of SR. I can't switch windows right now because that will lag my entire computer, but I guess you have the layouts so people can see who is which or who's who. Well, if you don't know, we have Fishy, we have Selvrig, we have Stuffin' Things, Squidman, Mollyman, Shiu, Mac Butters, and Metalo. And I can see some fairly decent PBs here. Out of, from what I understand, people have been practicing this for roughly a week. And I see here that Fishy, who has a 1020, let's see here. Oh, 1042, that's a pretty good time actually. And also we have Metalo with a 1020. Those are the best times I could find, and well, that's pretty good times for just playing a week, for sure.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
So we might see some high quality gameplay here.
It looks like we are starting.
Oh. Right, everyone is starting. Okay, let's see if we can keep track of what's happening here. The first stage is pretty straightforward. Not really much going on. Well, much going on. It's actually one of the hardest stages in the game. There's no major tricks to it aside from a few damage boosts up above. But what you can see here is very important is how fast they handle the first climb. There's 2 climbs in the stage, one on the right side and one on the left side. And this game has there's a million different jump heights in the game depending on how long you hold the A button. So you want to not make a full jump, but rather like a medium one on each section, and it can actually matter. It can be a seconds difference depending on how well you. You also don't want to die in the first stage because it's the longest stage in the game. So if you die anywhere in the first screen, which is like 50 seconds long, you spawn at the start, which is the most costly death in the game. So most players seem to get through pretty good here. We have Shiu reaching the boss first, it seems, at least from what I can see. All the bosses in this game, the bosses are not, most of the bosses are fairly easy in this game. There's some RNG to some of them, but the first one should not be an issue for these players, I think. It's like everyone's getting through the first stage without dying, and that's really good. Okay, we have the second stage coming up. It's kind of like a lab stage. Let's see who's in the lead. It's hard to tell who is in the lead.
It looks like Mollyman is maybe a couple seconds ahead right now.
He might actually be that. On my restream, he is actually well. Oh, okay. Wow, there's a big difference in stream delay for me. So it's, but he's probably he's done a good job so far. So it wouldn't surprise me. All right. At least in this stage, there's a water tap section some people are at, and there's also some boiling pots which has bees attacking you. And you know what bees and flies and birds are in video games? Well, they knock you back and they fall into pits, and that's basically what you avoid in this stage.
Do you want to talk
The
about
boss
this
fight's
wonderful boss, Andy?
I want to. I don't want to because I hate him. It's basically the equivalent to Magic and Dispel in DuckTales. The boss has 4 different heights it can appear. On some heights, it's possible to do double hits, and if you get a high pattern, you get a single hit in a cycle.
So, what percentage of high-end runs do you think are reset on the spaceship?
Percentage of high-end runs. If you're going for a record time or a low 10 or something, you'll probably reset this boss at least 75%, 80 probably, maybe even more.
Wow, so that's definitely like the reset spot of the run.
That's the major reset spot of the run. Yes, it's the only big reset spot of the run. All the other, there's some RNG in the next boss coming up here. We have the Toy Factory stage right now, and it's the scariest. The Toy Factory stage is the scariest stage of the game because if you're going for the fast rats, you take a lot of damage boost. You're basically at 1 health, 1 HP the entire stage, and a single mistake will cost you a life. And the boss in this stage is also a bit scary. It's the robot fight. It's not nearly as much RNG as a spaceship, but you can make some double hits if you get the right pattern. We'll see what happens here. So who is entering stream delay?
Looks like Malaman and Metalo are both at the robot right now.
Yeah, I can see Metalo. He is like 20-second difference in stream delay, but yeah, he's getting you saw in the last Metalo pattern bear, he got the far when the robot go out far. You basically want the robot to go out as far as possible because then it's easy to get double hits on. You can also see how she only gets the short pattern, which is the least preferable, so she actually died there. And she getting the same pattern again, that's really unlucky. There's also RNG to how the balls from the sky land on you, so I mean sometimes they're almost impossible to avoid, which is really annoying. Okay, next stage at least is the elevator stage. It contains an elevator climb, which is a really casual play killer because if you don't know how to traverse this elevator, you can basically get impossible patterns if you're unlucky enough. But these guys seem to do fine.
Yep.
Even a death here. Death here is not that costly though. It's only a few seconds. It's a short sprint.
Yeah, as we saw, Metalo took a death, and Malaman didn't. So Malaman's in a very, very short lead right now.
And I'm gonna try to refresh Malaman's. Okay, that did the trick. I'm gonna try to refresh all to see where they're at. Yeah. It looks like Malaman is in the lead from what I can see now. The casino stage is the easiest stage in the game. It's kind of like a breeder. The first set of stages are very technical, most of them, but the casino stage is basically just run straight forward and jump every now and then. You just need to know the route. It's fairly simple. He did a despawn trick there at the end. Killing a specific enemy actually despawns a bomb that blocks the door. It's nothing major. So yeah, this is basically the calm before the storm in this stage. Both the stage and the boss fights are the easiest in the game, I would say, by far. So it's you can see in the boss fight you only need to position yourself correctly and just throw the ball up and down. You can't ever get hit if you're correct.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, as long as you know how to position yourself, it should be a free fight.
Yeah, and as long as you know how to re-grab the ball after each throw, you basically just hold the B button. There's no timing required. You just hold the B button down, he automatically grabs the ball. Then we have the most useless cutscene in any game. Kind of, we're going to the moon or something, but no, we're just flying back down. So I don't know what the point of that rocket ship is, but Anyway, we're going on to H, which is the most technical stage in the game, probably. This stage contains a really, really fast climb at the right side with crabs and squirrels spawning all over the place. It's really... Let's see how they handle it now. Mollyman and Metal Low are fairly even here. Taking different routes, that was interesting. Metal Low going for the left route, which is slower. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Metal Low taking the death on the flying squirrel. That's a costly death. So Mollyman is pulling ahead here.
Yes, he definitely is. He's on really, really good pace too. I want to say he's on like sub 10:30 pace maybe.
He's doing good. He's doing good for sure. The death Metal Low had a second death. He tried to save it out there, but I would assume he's not used to that strat. He probably did his usual strat, and when he failed it, he went for a backup. He didn't practice. That cost him, unfortunately. And that's a rough spot. It's actually really... He went for the hardest strat there, and I mean, in the first time it got it. So, okay, this time he made it. He's still in second place. No, I think actually Selrig and also Fishy is ahead of him now. And also Squidman. So, okay, yeah, he fell back several places too. So now we see Mollyman and some other people entering the I stage, which is the second easiest stage in the game, actually. It's really boring, honestly, because you see these fan sections. The fans keep blowing you back, and there's no way you can make that section faster. If you play two-player co-op in this game, you can actually both kill yourselves, and then you get like a balloon thing that lets the player join again. And if you both kill yourself at the right time, you can both have the balloon active and fly past that screen without having to wait, which is really neat. But no such thing in single player.
So Mollyman actually got... I mean, he waited till it was on the left side. Is that how you usually do the main kill? But he got a 2-cycle.
Oh, we see the Caterpillar fight.
Yes.
Yes. Mollyman did the quick kill correctly. You wait for a visual cue. He actually threw the ball at basically when he's right at the middle of the screen. Usually, if you hit him before he's at the middle, he kind of puts himself together again. But if you hit him at the exact right spot, he just keeps moving. So Mollyman actually did that correct. So that was really good. Okay, the final stage of the game, which is the hardest by far. It's both very technical, and you're also very low on health if you're going for the hard strats. Let's see how they tackle it here. The Weasels take 2 hits to kill in general if you don't get a frame perfect hit, which you usually don't. Let's see how he handles it now. Okay, he's playing it safe here at the Axis. You can damage boost the Axis. He did 1 damage boost, so that's a good trade-off in a race. You can do 2 to make speed up that section. Alright, he's getting to the last part of the final stage here. There's a health refill he picked up there in the box. It's not really visible, but you need it for this section. So let's see if he can make it through here.
I was going to say, Andy, I think you are a tiny bit behind. Mollyman actually finished with a 10:10.
I probably am.
But holy cow, a 10:10, that is an amazing race time.
10:10? Oh, okay, I am a bit behind for sure. Well, he's entering Fat Cat now for me. Oh well, sorry about that. I refreshed his stream
and it looks like Fishy is coming in second with a 10:46 on his splits. Still a very good time for a race when you're... I mean, that was only about 10 seconds from his PB, I think.
Yeah, that's then we have Stuff and Things with an 11 flat.
Yeah, that's only 4 seconds from his PB.
We have Squidman here also finishing off Fat Cat with 11:15. And Metal Low is still struggling in the... Yeah, I think Metal Low probably got shaken by his deaths in H, so he's struggling a bit with J now as well. So it's a close race now between Shio and Metal. They are both at the lower axis. My streams are lined up correct. Oh, and also McButters. Oh, he took a death.
Yeah, him and Metal Low both took a death, so they're now still right neck and neck.
They did. They are neck to neck, and we have Shiyu Yes, at the upper section now. So as long as she, oh no, she doesn't. Oh, she doesn't know about the health refill. Ow, ow, ow! That's gonna be scary. Oh wow, frame perfect.
She
kill
did
on
give the
Weasel.
first frame perfect.
That saved her there because she didn't know how to avoid this. Like, oh, I'm getting nervous. Jump! Oh, fat cat. Okay, the safe. Well, there's no safe spots on Fat Cat. Well, there are, but they are really hard to get. Actually, she's doing the safe part on the right side, which is slightly slow. But please don't die. No, there was one hit from die. Okay, third try. Oh, and McButters catching up
Comes
now.
in, yeah, to get
He
6.
sniped. He sniped it. He sniped it. And poor Shio keeps dying. Don't jump and grab the ball, Shio, please. If you don't jump, you survive. Don't jump. Thank you. No, hold the people. No. So basically, if you want to play safe on Fat Cat, you never jump because then you can jump into his ashes.
She's through.
So yeah, if you just yeah, she's through. Nice. Third flag. So we have Metalo, who had I don't know what Mollyman's PB was because he wasn't using splits, but Metalo had 1020, so that was the best PB I could see. But as you can see, I mean, he's finishing up last year, so there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong very easily in this game. It's not easy at all. Oh, no, died on screen. This stage, even casually when playing through this, the first time I played through this casually since I was a kid. I mean, before I started speedrunning it, I think it took me like 25 minutes. 12 and a half of those minutes were from the last stage.
Oh, it does look like Malaman said in chat that he has a 959.
He does? Okay, well, wait, what?
And he's like, how do I not know about you, Malaman?
Well, I probably verified around myself. So I'm not sure. Okay, I probably mixed him together. But how did he end up in this beginner's race with a 959? That's the question.
So with how this race usually goes is the winner of the race ends up choosing 3 games that they have not run before. And then everyone who's going to race in the next race has 24 hours to vote on the one that they would rather race. And so it's going to be impossible for everyone to be new to the race every month. So we allow people that know the race, and so obviously Malaman had a pretty big advantage having a 959.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to kick him out or anything. So
Yeah.
I was just surprised. And yeah, actually, yeah, he's right. That was 3 months ago he got the 959. So I apologize for getting that. Actually, that was I just blame it that Hyrexen was the one verified. Sorry.
But yeah, so that's kind of how for those of you new to retro games racing, that's how we've been doing these. And so we will have a race in March, and for that, Malaman will be picking 3 games, and then we will hopefully vote on one that not too many people have played. But I mean, like I said, when we have this many people that are wanting to race, it's really hard to find games that no one has run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially when you pick a game like this is one of the most popular games on. I mean, it has 153 submissions on Speedrun.com, so it's like it's one of the I think it's top 5 at least games.
Yeah, it has a monstrous number, and it looks like Metalo has finished with a 1532, and so that is all of our runners. If you look, we had. So I think it's actually pretty incredible. We had 5 people. So if you look at new people, Zelrig wasn't really new either. He'd been running it for a while, but we had Fishy, Stuffin, and Squid, who all finished with an 11:17 or better in less than a week in a one-time race. I think that's pretty incredible.
I think that's good. That's really good. And it was a close race. It was back and forth. Unfortunately, I can see now that it's probably because I have so many streams up, but the streams are gradually being more and more delayed for me, it seems. So it was hard to keep track of everyone at the same time, but it was back and forth, and they kept it close for the most part.
Yeah,
Metalo
was really close with Malaman for a long time.
He was. He died 2 times in H. At a spot I died myself. to many times, especially in races. So it's understandable, and when you take a situation like that, it's really easy to. You get shaken. It's really hard to bounce back. Actually, it is. So, he did a good job to actually finish the race at all. Actually, I would say with those mishaps, it can be discouraging for anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I will say we did throw the Discord for Retro Games Racing in the chat. If this sounds like fun to you, if you aren't speedrunning, we'd love to have you. If you are speedrunning already, we'd love to have you. It's just a fun way to learn an extra game a month. And other than that, Andy, do you want to say have a goodbye or?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. There was a pretty short notice, but I think this is a great idea. A channel having people race games like this, Restream. It's there's two less. This is more of a casual thing. It's not like a big tournament or something, but I think it's really nice having, kind of short notice races like this. Just to have races because there's too few races nowadays, I would say.
Yeah, I think a lot of us had kind of thought, we play a few games really deep, but we don't really have a lot of speedrunning breadth. And so this really kind of helped with that. It helped us be able to learn a new game every month. If you try to learn these every month, that's over 10 games a year you're learning just from this.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good idea, and it was really fun commentating.
The other thing I will say that you hit on, this is not like an expert world record pace like race. We want new people. We want to help people get into speedrunning. It is a very casual race, and even if you're not winning the races, if you look at what you've done in a week, going from nothing to even a 12 or 13 or 14 minute time like that, I think that's awesome.
That's awesome, and it can also spark an interest in. Maybe after you learn this game for a week, you might be hungry for more. Not only in this game, in any game you learn, it can actually, light a spark that lets you, challenge yourself to improve even more. So I think it's a really good format.
Yep. And lastly, I would say we don't have a command, unfortunately. I didn't have enough time to make one today, but please follow your runners. The names on the stream should be their actual Twitch handles, and so give them a follow if you like them today. Also, please follow Andy. Andy was so nice for us to be able to come and do this today. He hasn't been a part of Retro Games Racing, and so he just volunteered his time. I thought I'd ask him because he's an awesome dude, and I'm so thankful that he was willing to do it. So definitely go give Andy Swee a follow. He is one of the best speedrunners out here.
Thank you, Carver. It was my pleasure, actually. I always like to help out if I can, if I'm available. Okay. Always help out a good cause.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, if we pick another game that you're good at, maybe I'll come find you again.
You do that.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it for us, guys. Thank you for joining the February race. Hopefully next time, if we have 8 people, it won't take quite as long. We had never had a race that big, and so I was trying to add new sources to the layout right before. So we will hopefully be able to get that going on time next time. So sorry for that short delay, but otherwise, have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday, guys, and we will talk to you later.
Later, guys.